grief about that. Whenever I come home, my sister, I'll say something like an American way.
Oh no!
Like, ah! That was the American way.
I got you.
I got you. You know, cut it out. Happens regularly.
And then you come back and I can't understand you again. So it's, you know, it goes.
Yeah, I go back to saying bottle of water.
Bottle of water.
Bottle of water. In it.
Blokes. Any blokes in chat? Oh man, we do have one. We do have one bloke. Atlas doesn't count.
Whoa, we share the Commonwealth.
Not a bloke.
You know,
Aussies are mates, and that's a totally different thing. It's a totally different part of the world.
He's a mate. He's upside down.
Yeah.
Similar, but reversed.
That's why his hair is always pointed up, because he's upside down, actually. Yeah.
You know, he had an exciting story where he forgot to turn his magnet boots on, and he had to grab onto something. He's going to fall off the earth, you know. Okay, anyway, we do have draft coming in. DRX on the blue side for the first time. And as we were talking about in the space, mid picks a big factor. Some of the mid picks I think might be looked at. Galio hasn't had a look in yet. Aurora was banned quite frequently. Could be flexed to mid. Obviously would be high priority top as well. We'll see if that gets banned again, as it was banned first 2 games. Victor, also a prospect that I feel like is moderate prio. That hasn't really shows up here and there. We'll see if that gets a look in. DRX bans feel very more targeted. We haven't seen, other than Renekton, which felt like more specific to let the Ambassador go up, we haven't seen any of these banned in first rotation so far in the first 2 drafts. Kind of taken away a lot of sort of like dive-focused stuff with the Vi and the Kai'Sa. Definitely the
Azir.
Yeah, Azir's just been left open. So it's first pick Azir. I mean, we're talking about the mid-drought, but also, it's not just Azir, but also Annie, but also Aurora. All these mid-picks left open and available. I guess Aurora more likely to go top. Maybe BNK FEARX wanting to go like Aurora Annie?
I mean, if you're going to leave that much OP stuff up...
I mean, I guess you don't need to go Annie immediately because they've picked Azir. You could go Aurora and then go your jungle pick with the... I guess with the Trundle ban, maybe they want to go a tank.
Yeah. I think Zion's just fine. You know, Ambessa's out of the pool as well. Maybe they play something like an Aatrox, which is something that Rich has gone back to a couple of times. But yeah, Sion going to be the lock, and it's Yone.
Oh, they want to pick Yone.
An old counter into, I mean, I say counter, but
we've seen a
lot
lot
of pick into Azir we used to see all the time.
Yone Maokai has been, it's not been popular recently, but when it's shown up, it's done pretty well. So they could go for the Yone Maokai mid-jungle, which is pretty obnoxious to deal with. And makes me wonder what DRX are going to match into this. They're just going to go for the early Alistair pickup. Want to secure that support pick before we go to the later rotations.
Feels a little bit like, okay, it's game 3, let's get all the leftover OP stuff, you know?
Yeah, do you want to grab jungle now? Do you want to grab top lane? Maybe if you want the Aatrox, you have to grab it here and now. But there's a lot of picks you can play into the Sion, right? It just depends what Rich specifically wants. Jhin into Sion. I mean, they have the Azir to provide some DPS, so...
And Yone.
Yeah. Sylas? Oh, Jungle Sylas?
Sylas Jungle.
It's been popular in solo queue, but we haven't seen it come out yet, and it looks like we're gonna go for it.
Hey!
So this did get changed on this patch. They increased his damage to monsters. I want to remind you that all those clips you saw of him building crit, that to get hotfixed, it was bugged.
Yeah, no, that's not
it was like bugged, so like he would benefit from crit twice, I believe. So he was just one-shotting people with IE and stuff.
He was pretty good in Arena, right?
Yeah. But no, he's not critting, so it's just, but it's AP, jungle, Sylas, and you're into an Alistair, which is a phenomenal ult to take. Azir ult also great, and really hard for a Jhin to deal with, because you are essentially a tank when you take the Alistair ult. The Aatrox is going to get banned, to no surprise.
Yeah.
From anyone, because that's one of the typical picks you see into the Sion. Also, another of the picks that do pretty well in the Cho'Gath is the into Sion is the Cho'Gath, but you know, I wouldn't want to pick Cho'Gath into this composition, especially given Giving Silas Cho'Gath ult is horrific.
Gonna ban away the Skarner here against Jungle Silas.
What are you gonna pick here? Because you can't pick Maokai into Silas. That's just terrible.
It's a bad idea.
I wouldn't pick Nocturne here or into Silas.
It's not a lot of good options. I mean, it's game 3 of Fearless. A lot of the strong stuff is gone or banned. I mean, we had a lot of jungle bans already. Leona ban here against Kellen. And this is just full, you know, we're going to send it super aggro BNK composition once again.
Yeah, Diablo and the Callista did obviously get those changes to give us some AP scaling, helped with the Ginsu's build. I wonder what build we'll specifically get. We have seen people going a bit hybrid in solo queue, but it does just help out with when you're going Ginsu's to have a bit of extra power on the end. Lee Sin kind of feels like the pick where it's like, well, what else are you going to play?
Yeah.
And truly, honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure there's anything, like, you could have gone something like Viego, but I feel like Lee Sin just might be that sort of answer.
Rich very reluctantly, seemingly going to play this Cassante. Head in hand, little nod comes through.
Yeah.
There it is.
DRX's composition, I feel like, kind of just exists. The Azir was obviously a great first pick, but after that, you know, the Jhin here, I'm not hugely inspired by. The Alistar into Callista Renata, it's not going to feel good. You're giving over an Alistar ult to a Silas, feels terrible. The Cassante, you know, into the Scion, I don't think is hugely threatening. I just think BNK FEARX feel pretty happy. You know, I think the Silas angle was great. The Yone is obviously a good matchup into the Azir, and if Yone ever connects on Jhin or Azir, I feel like DRX are cooked. And Callista Renata is going to be a very hard lane to play into.
Yeah, it definitely will be. Also, Diablo's Callista has looked pretty ridiculous, and it's also Kellen on Renata Glask, so it just feels like it's comfort. It's a fantastic comp that works all together. It does feel like they're kind of showing some of that tech potentially that they are prepping for play-ins pretty early. So that would be like the one thing where I'm like, huh, interesting that you pull out the Silas jungle here in this game against DRX. You really want to get the win.
Yeah. I will say the one thing is that Azir, you know, in this mid lane matchup, if you play it well, you should have prio. Lee Sin as well. Like, it's a strong mid jungle in terms of the early pressure. If you can make that spread out to the rest of the map, maybe that's the angle.
Perhaps that is the angle, but let's see how it goes as we hop into the rift for game number 3.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, the fans have spoken, and we are getting ready for the final game here of this first best of 3. Definitely potential for a 6-gamer today. We have HLE versus KT up next.
Isn't it HLE against Nongshim?
Sorry, Nongshim. You know, if Nongshim pulls something out, I think that HLE are definitely the heavy favorites in that match, but just saying, the potential's there.
Nongshim took T1 of 3 games, right?
Yeah.
So
it seems like they're getting a little bit of feistiness at the very end after getting bullied the entirety of Legend Group.
Yeah, it's possible. We'll see. I don't think this series will go on for any more games. I think this is probably
What makes
the
you
last
think
one.
that?
Just my experience. The LCK tells me this is probably going to be the last game of the
You
series.
just have a really good read on the teams.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's why you're so knowledgeable.
Yes. You know, I've done a lot of studying.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
We sometimes get 2, sometimes 3. We don't tend to get many 4-game series in the LCK regular season.
Hasn't really happened. And getting a big zoom in on the Silas jungle.
Yep, so I believe it was passive was made to do 150% damage to jungle camps. Is what made him able to jungle.
Yeah, he's got a lot of AoE, so the AoE wave clear is there. He's an AP jungler, so it feels very good. You don't have to play Maokai if you're desperate for an AP jungler. I like that they're adding in a little bit of, you know, variety in terms of some of the picks we can get in the jungle that aren't just, you know, our AD overlords.
Yeah, and especially when you think about some of the picks in the meta, and like Nico and Alistar and Rakan are some of the most popular supports. I mean, more so Nico and Alistar, but those ults are so good for Sylas. So there's definitely angles later in Fearless to bring out the Sylas when the other team's like, hey, we want to secure the Alistar before we get the next rotation. Like if Alistar keeps getting banned second rotation, like we've seen in this series, like we want to secure the Alistar when there's less engaged supports, and then you just go bam, Sylas, you know?
Yeah.
We even saw the Nico in game 1 was picked in the third, you know, we could have... Obviously game 1 we saw Xin and Wukong taken, so we're not going to get Sylas there, but and the concept is kind of similar. Maybe we see more teams doing this if they are willing to practice the Sylas.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it loses this game, though, the teams will never play ever again.
That'll be the end. We'll never see it ever again. Because BNK lost to DRX.
Yeah.
T1's like, nah, no, it's bad. We're not playing it. It can't be done.
Pretty fast clear, pacing ahead off the Lee Sin, and should be able to pick up a Scuttle Crab. Actually, Lee Sin is there.
Hello.
I mean, later, but he's up there a bit early.
Raptor just going in. They have the initial roam from the bottom lane, and Raptor's winning the 1v1. I remember this happening before. Because now we are going to get Sponge over the wall, so he will forego fighting over this Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, the fact Vikla was able to move despite who having prio, a little bit funny, just the unbalanced soul to get over there. But bot lane has such absolute priority that Kellen moving up just kind of secured that. Sponge isn't too bothered. He gets to pick up the topside Scuttle, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, definitely not fun to play the jungle and contest that bot side Scuttle when you have an Alistar versus Calista Renata, which is always going to be shoving you in. Oh, that. If that had stopped him.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time channeling that back.
Would his E have been quicker? I wonder.
I think so.
Because the E has a little bit of a cast time.
Tried to just go for the quick Q, but
yeah,
couldn't quite get it off in time.
Giga Chad move would have been the flash auto, you know?
Definitely worth.
Pop the W before... Actually, the problem is the teleport's so long now. I was going to say pop the W before you teleport, and then when you land instantly. But I think the teleport's so slow.
Yeah.
That would have timed out by the time you get there.
It definitely would have. I think you got to assert dominance and show who's boss on the top lane, so the flash auto would have been my go-to there.
Yeah.
For sure. It's a good call.
Respectable.
Yeah. We have seen this Cassante versus Sion match in a little match up a little bit. Has looked pretty good for the Cassante from what I remember. Sion essentially is just kind of sitting there, and
I think there was a recent one where I think Keen played Sion the other day into...
Oh, that was pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, to be fair, it was Keen into Pip.
Oh, okay. Lining up two. Perhaps didn't want the cow on the backside of that one.
That was so back in the UK, they call it buy one, get one free. In Korea, we call it 1+1.
Yeah.
Getting more than you bargained for on that.
Little bonus action.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure Keen played against Perfect, which is, he kind of skews it because it was Keen against Perfect, but I remember he played the Sion and he just kind of ended up being invincible.
Yeah.
And just aura farming on the
But he also, like, got a kill pretty much solo.
He did get those 4 kills.
No, the Cassante, I mean.
Oh.
He got, like, the 1 kill early, like, the Sion tried to ult away and he flashed in front of it. And I'm not sure if it's the same game, but that's what I was remembering.
I don't know. That didn't happen that game because I'm pretty sure Keen was like... But
I've seen it more than once.
Yeah.
Has been a matchup that the players have said, okay, I like that Cassante here. At least in Game 3s of Fearless.
Yeah.
Or like Game 2 if a lot of stuff gets banned in the top lane. Not the most common thing we ever see. Perhaps a little fight over the grubs here in a little bit. Sponge around. But in they go. Vikla also here first. Sponge in a bit of trouble. Gonna just go over the wall.
He's not having a fun time in this matchup. It just kind of feels like Raptor jumps at him and beats him up. And then he runs away. That's it. That's just what happens. Raptor's looking for him again.
Yep, just going on in. There is Andal still there. As now he's going to continue forward. The rest of the team says, go, go, go. We want to get this blue. And it's actually going to go the way of Sponge, but now he has to flash away, and Diablo is running him down in the enemy jungle. His first blood for the Kalista, just like that.
Was the blue buff... He didn't get it, by the way. But was it worth it?
I thought he did.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't.
We'll have to see the instant replay on that one.
Okay, let's go verify it. Maybe he did get it. Oh, I think he did actually, because Diablo has it now, so he must have got it and then back. Okay, he got it. Was it worth it?
The question is still the same.
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
No.
The answer is no. This Lee Sin is it's not really doing a whole lot.
Yeah. And you just gave a kill to the Kalista. Not ideal, not optimal, I think is how we'd assess that one.
Yeah, we do say that from time to time.
And now Raptor's level 6, so
It's funny, we had that episode of, I think it's called New Blood? Episode 8 with Diablo. As stolen Alistair ultimate here means that Raptor gets to do whatever he wants. And what he wants to do is get 2 grubs, it looks like. Will he actually challenge there? I think with the mid lane being pushed in, the call is to wait. So now he's going over the wall. He still has Alistair ult, so yeah, he's just going to come in here and pick up the 1 grub. Sponge does get the 2. That's a bit surprising, but it's just a little grubs trade.
Conscious on the mid prio, didn't want to overstep there and throw away any lead that they had. Still gets the 1 grub. And they already have the dragon in pocket, so not really the end of the world. Okay, we'll see. And I mean, we had confirmed it based on the buff transfer, but yeah, goes in for the blue buff. And does get, gets a secure, and then just gives it immediately over to Diablo. I feel like we need someone there. You know how we have Wolf who like verifies every moment? We need someone to just...
That's very rare, though.
We need someone just to say whether or not things are worth, you know? We need a worth verifier.
Hashtag worth verifier.
Yeah, someone who's just there. When we're in doubt, because I know we're leaning towards that not being worth, but...
I feel like it should be what did.
We just need someone who can officially say with 100% certainty that going for the blue buff there wasn't worth.
Yeah.
You know, when we're in doubt, in moments like that.
You know what is very smart? Former pro gamer, obviously.
Yeah.
Knows the game very well. His name, more importantly though, his name starts with W.
Oh, yeah.
So what about the WODed worth segment?
Oh,
you know?
beautiful.
That could be it. As now they engage here on a Diablo. He does have a bit of help from Kellen, and he's just going to hop away. And they're out of engage, and so they're just kiting them out. Sponge going to land another Q. Does he go in on this? I believe he does, as... No, actually, I think he would have gotten that kill, but not going to opt for it.
A little bit spooked out on the play.
I think that's just an execute Lee Sin Q kill. But maybe he's just a little bit too deep. But
felt very tentative, their approach there.
Well, we're going to get the kick now. The insect looking pretty good from Raptor, but the play is not looking very good after the fact, as now Diablo gets in there, as he does have the bailout. Will he get the kill on the Andal? Yes, he will. Immediately dies. And kind of gets baited in there big time by Raptor.
Yeah, that play felt a little bit overthought. It looked cool. If he'd hit the chains, it would have been pretty slick. Not sure it would have worked anyway. But,
yeah.
I just feel like BNK FEARX are doing a bit of vibing. They kind of did that, you know, in game 1 on the Wukong when he got the kill, the solo kill, and then immediately went top and died to Gwen.
Little ult on in. Yehu caught out here. Not sure if he's going to be able to secure this kill, but even gets the flash out of Yehu.
Yeah, not sure he needed a flash. I mean, hindsight, he didn't need a flash. But obviously a little bit nervous. It's always really scary when you have the Unbound Soul and you know the damage is going to come through afterwards. But yeah, this is the play. So misses the chain afterwards. Oh. But I think he would have just not died anyway. He was rather healthy.
Yeah.
And then here, it's very, like, his target he's going for is the Alistair, but the ult time's out, fortunately, and he just ran him. A chaotic game, this has been so far. Now, though, zoning away. Oh, or maybe not.
Not really zoning them away, but kind of trying to do
encouraging them to stay on the tower.
It was just a suggestion, after all. Going on in, there's the sweep from the Silas, gonna get Sponge over the wall, as the Lee Sin will be just fine for now. Vikla does come over, but Yehu's got a great angle here with the soldiers. They're gonna take down Diablo already, and Yehu once again, double knockup comes in from the Yone. It's a crazy fight now, as the shots coming out from the Jhin, not gonna quite hit Raptor. BNK went so deep for that play, and it did not pay off for them. And it's not even done there. I mean, this is a Scion, but if we had a knockback from the Cassante, surely they would look for that kill.
So normally, you try to avoid getting a Lee Sin behind your team so you can insect your AD carry. Raptor kind of set Sponge up for that one. Very deep play. Very, very deep play, and it really backfired quite heavily. BNK FEARX, it's just who they are. Aggressive by nature. But we see the play starting. Sponge goes in. Raptor ults the Lee back so he can just kick his AD carry. And then Diablo's in this terrible spot. He gets rooted and he just dies. Even with a bailout, just instantly gone. And then Kellen gets ulted into a terrible place and just dies. And then the fight is just over after that. You can't redeem it from that point. But I don't think they really thought through being there, and also the prospect of shuffling the Lee Sin behind the AD carry.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they had thought through.
But hey, DRX, they were doing their thing. They, you know, Sponge popping off on the Lee Sin. 2-1-2, looking pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Yehu's just standing there as well, like, he's got a couple of soldiers right on the Callista, right in the choke point where everybody is going super deep. It just, unbothered, you know, in his zone, in his element. It just felt like DRX was always going to win that fight. But that's not going to stop BNK. And we know that the next fight, even though they're down some gold, they're still going to go in. Certainly a good team to be a fan of if you just love action. Well, gonna stop the back. Was that worth it?
It did look cool. Also, the ult's pretty low cooldown. I think it's worth it.
Okay.
It's about establishing dominance. We talked about that earlier.
Actually, I was asking what did.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, sure. It's his segment. Okay, well, I'm glad we've gotten to the bottom of who's in charge of that now.
Yeah.
It's an important role to just figure these things out.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell, especially when BNK's playing.
Yeah, there's some decisions made. We'll see what the next decision they make is.
I mean, sometimes they do crazy things and it ends up being worth. And when we're watching it, we're like, this is insane. Like, this never works, and
like
that works.
the entire last game?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole of last game. Everything about last game.
Yeah.
This works. This game not feeling as positive. 1,500 gold down. It is a Chemtech Soul with a Dragon apiece, so it's not really a huge prospect on the mind. Although I will say some of these champions do get a lot of value from the Chemtech Soul. Silas, Scion, Yone.
Yeah.
Right now they're setting up for the Herald.
Callista with bailout, you know?
Yeah.
It does feel like the whole composition of BNK really enjoys that. On the side of DRX, they have, like, you know, Cassante, Lee Sin, but it's not, you know, it's not nearly as valuable. Perhaps the Alistar gets some value.
They didn't tech into the chem as hard.
Yeah. I like teching into the Hex, personally. Yeah. We did see that, actually, in a couple of games already. The Hex Tech Soul. Or actually, one game.
Vikla doesn't have his blade yet, and is struggling in the matchup. But I think once he gets that, makes a big difference. It's a big spike. Right now, we do see Diablo moving over here. Yeah. Looks like contest this one.
I mean,
Raptor's the Alistar ult.
Seems a little bit late, but Raptor is going to get into the pit. Rich is just dashing straight at him. He's like, come at me, bro. Use that ultimate, I dare you. He's going to have to use it, but now he's zoned away from the objective. It does go over to the Lee Sin. As a big hostile takeover, that is going to be the end of Sponge. And now Teddy's kind of zoned away. Big Q's going to come down. And BNK are able to fight front to back on this one. Really no way. Okay, the disengage code actually is the way to get on out. And Yehu on the Azir, but the flash on in and the knockup will get the job done. Triple kill for Diablo in the fight.
Diablo just able to charge forward with all of his front line, creating so much space, taking targets down, getting those executes on the Callista. does end up being, funnily enough, feats of strength for DRX with that objective secured, the Herald, but a massively lost fight. And initially, Rich tries to focus on a Raptor to deny him access to the Herald. It works, they do stop him from getting it, but it's a Silas with the Alastral. He just pops that and just dashes over. Kellen gets a big ult here that catches Sponge, also catches the Azir. They dive in on the Azir. Onto the Lee Sin, sorry, and then they start moving forwards with the Redemption heal. The Alistair goes down, they start chasing targets. The Jin ult's just not doing enough when there's healthy targets blocking it. And again, this chase down comes through, and it really feels like the DRX composition is just lacking DPS. You know, the Azir's not doing enough right now. The Jin is a Jin. He is really not cutting through these targets quick enough.
One item Jin against like Silas Scion really doesn't...
Everyone's so durable.
Yeah.
People don't die when they should because they have healing or shielding or bailouts. There's so much sustain as well for this composition.
Yeah, and now they have one Chemtech Drake's gonna help out there. Vikla is Yone. Thinking about diving that turret, but Redemption comes down and they say no. It's like they had said no just right before the Redemption, but that was the absolute no.
Honestly, I feel like someone needs to get healing reduction this game on DRX.
Yep.
Unending Despair already completed for clear. 2 Blade of the Rune Kings. Silas.
I think it has to be Yehu.
He's probably the best applier. I think Rich might be going for it, but the problem with it being on your Cassante is that it only applies if people hit him.
Yeah. Which not everybody is going to, or even wants to in the first place.
Yeah.
So, let's get it on the Azir. Or just don't get it, and then you don't really deal with the issues we were talking about.
Just pretend the healing doesn't exist.
Yeah. Diablo, quite strong, I would say, at this point. 5 kills. We have had some of these games have had some big kill players that haven't exactly won. Thinking of you, Wukong. But I don't know. I have faith in this. There's a lot of room-making ability for BNK and for this Kalista, and has the Renata Glass with it. The fact that the Prio has gone down so far on the Kalista means that Kalista Renata Glass just gets through for free.
Yeah.
All right, trying to make the play here on the Scion as the ult will come out, but it is blocked. So this guy is so tanky. Sponge is going to be looking for the kick. Kind of misses out on the angle. Finally is going to get the kick down. And that should be enough to take out clear, as not even going to land that Q. And they finally do commit 4 people to take out the Scion.
Yeah, it survives for a long time, but ultimately with that many people wanting you killed, very hard to survive it. In the meantime, Vikla will pick up a tower in the top lane. We see Diablo recalling for the Ginsus, but not really much of a counterpunch coming in for BNK FEARX. In fact, they lose the tower as well. This is a big hit. Okay, they will be there in time to defend it. Even so, though, DRX making a good proactive play there. Some pedal picking up there, and Arakan has spawned on the bot side.
Yeah, Arakan is... I mean, it's a very close game, so I feel like it's kind of... Who am I kidding? I'm like, it's kind of difficult to, you know, just start it up. But no, BNK are just going to start it up immediately. They have Kalista, and they do not have double smite, though. It's actually Guardian here for Kellen. We'll see if Ondil is able to get that one up. A lot of sticks in the Otacon. Clear, they're going to get incredibly low, and the sticks are now gone from the objective.
Got to be really cautious about the shred from the Otacon, and they're just taking a lot more damage than they bargained for. Redemption will sustain them back up a good amount. The teams are still hovering around.
Both teams are like, we're doing Otacon. It's happening.
It's inevitable.
Okay, that's going to be the sundown and the kidnap. He is just gone. Vikla, nowhere for him to go. Thinks he's safe because he's Yone, but he gets punished big time.
Yeah, oversteps there. The CC chain comes out, and he just gets absolutely deleted. Now, BNK FEARX have to give up the objective. Big misplay there for the mid laner of BNK FEARX, and DRX quick, swift to punish that one. We'll get a ton of XP, ton of adaptive force. Particularly when you're talking about a composition where we said they lack damage, and with the Jin as well, who scales so much with that raw AD. It's a big boon to pick up here. We see the engage comes in, the stun into the root, the knock around. Just so well layered by DRX as well.
They just threw everything in the kitchen sink at him. And also kicked him. The kick and sink maybe is a better way to say it. And that's just Otacon. I mean, they just pick it up. You talked about the raw AD going over to the Jhin, but also the Azir loving this. And it's just a big way for DRX to try to solidify the lead. Now the Chemtech Drake, though, they've really been trying to bully the Sion big time, have DRX. Clear positioning forward, but DRX trying to make them pay for that. Tons of damage goes into Vikla already. As the Q is going to land, the kick goes in, but he's all alone, Sponge. Got to be a little bit more careful about that. As the Q, I think, was in, but he elected not to go. And now we just have ultimate chaos as double Azir ults come out. The first one will be the kill onto the Renata Glass. As Diablo getting incredibly low, but he will just barely die to Teddy. As now it's just a big wombo combo inside the pit. Who's going to win this one? I have no idea. Sponge gets taken out. And 6,000 damage from the Azir is not enough as BNK will win the fight.
Such a hectic fight. So close. So many critical moments. And BNK FEARX, I feel like the sustain that came through amplified a little bit by that Chemtech Drake actually making it their win in the fight. Just very slightly coming out ahead. We saw so many low health bars there. So many blinking health bars. It starts off with Sponge. I think the initial bit, so Vikla ends up trying to commit onto Teddy. Doesn't quite find him. And then Sponge focuses on a Vikla. We see the Jinnel open up. The Redemption comes down to try and buy time. We get these double Azir ults coming out from Raptor. And again, coming out from Yahoo. It's a massive cluster. Diablo gets focused down. Teddy trying to flash and finish off the cluster. Doesn't quite have it though. Does eventually get him, but then he's just taken out by the Sion. And then look at Rich nearly killing Vikla, but the dodge, the Unbound Soul, and the sidestep.
And in these crazy scrappy fights, Sylas is like the king.
Yeah.
At least in this, like you could say Lee Sin could do well, Callista could do well, but Sylas is a whole nother beast, especially with now double Chemtech Drake, as you very nicely mentioned. They're on the cusp of a actually fantastic soul for their composition, especially if the fights look more like that as we continue.
He's getting so much healing every time he W's.
Yeah, just kind of commit to the bit, say, okay, this is what I meant to do. He's still going in and zoned away by the hostile takeover. I don't think he meant to do this. And he will die eventually. There he goes. Diablo takes him down.
A little bit interesting play coming out. Baron up in 15. And Andal doesn't have TP to switch to. He just switched to Ghost. It's not so much, I mean, him being down isn't the biggest issue for setting up for Baron, but not having any wards is a major issue.
They can just do it.
They can just start it up. And now DRX have to approach. Oh,
okay, face call. As he's going to throw himself back in. I mean, and now they're going to turn back.
They get the cooldown, they buy some time.
That feels pretty good for DRX's chances in the 4v5. Now an angle here from Vikla. Not going to get rooted. Oh, he actually does get rooted. He's going to have to ult out himself, but he's not in this fight. This is just a 4v4 for now, but the Redemption gets massive value onto everybody. Rich going to get Diablo into the backline, but the bailout is there. He does not get the bailout, though, but down go both 80 carries. As in goes Yahoo into that backline. He's untouched for now, but now the double stun comes in. But Raptor, he's just unkillable. They can't take down the Sylas. They finally do it at the very end. And this time, it's the Yone who thrives in the crazy chaos. And the Sion as well. It's only a Cassante left, and down he will go.
Once again, a hectic fight. So many low health bars. Just surviving that little bit too long gives BNK FEARX a victory in the extended fight. It starts off pretty scrappy once again. We see Vikla trying to find the angle, gets forced away by the Jhin ult. They actually find Diablo on the offset, gets chunked out a decent amount, chases down and gets ulted through by Sponge, kicked into Teddy, doesn't get the reset on the bailout. But then Raptor gets so low, buys time with the Zhonya's, able to survive so much longer with this stun layered onto the Azir with Clear. Clear getting so much value on this Sion, just untouchable. And then again, the DPS provided by the Yone doing so much work in this fight. The Cassante without the ult available anymore, not really able to do anything in return. And it feels like Last fight, the main character was kind of the Silas. I mean, to be fair, Vikla did a lot there too.
Yeah.
This time it's kind of Yone, but the Scion is just there. Just permanently there, just getting value from the unending despair, not dying, just aura farming.
Yeah.
Literally farming people's health with the aura from the unending despair.
That's very nice.
In a more literal sense.
He's got Randuin's, and so the Jhin doesn't really deal damage to him.
I mean, Randuin's, for crit 80 carries, particularly for a Jhin who struggles to cut through them, it reduces the damage so much.
Yeah, it's insane. And he's already got enough MR against the Azir. So he's good against the two carries. As now we go into chaos once again. It's going to be Yehu into that backline, immediately down. This time looking much better for the side of BNK as Diablo's able to do whatever he wants. Goes over the wall, going to take out the two of them, it looks like. Flash on over and gets the Ren down. Double kill for Diablo.
That was slick. He was killing one target, hopped over the wall, like starting the other, and then flashed back over for the Ren to finish. And that should be Chemtech Soul for BNK FEARX, which again, it's a soul we've always said, not the most impactful. In this game, it will be.
Yeah.
With the amount of time.
It's gigantic, actually.
BNK FEARX have been playing like they have Chemtech Soul already. It's like they've been optimizing for it. They've spent most of this game sub 50% HP. Every fight, they are just permanently going to have it active. Clear is already trying to have it active here.
Oh no, they're trying to stop him, and instead it will be the Yone who is going to stop this Jhin. And Clear was here the whole time, body blocking and bodyguarding for the take. Chemtech Soul comes out, plus the Baron. They just have everything at the moment.
And this was started off by Kellen, who finds a great pick on a Yahoo. You know, the Azir not the easiest target to catch, but he gets the handshake.
Engaged Renata class.
Yeah, it has a safety from the Kalista ult, so it doesn't end up going down. And this was a slick play from Diablo. Has it stacked up on Sponge. Doesn't quite finish because of the hop, and then flashes for the finish afterwards. And then here, I think they have found the Scion, but Teddy just does not do damage to this Scion.
Nope.
Like, Vikla was close by, but I seriously wonder if Vikla was in base, if he could have just ran there and been there in time to help out this very tanky Scion.
All right, well, now with the Baron and the Chemtech Soul, it really does feel like this comp from BNK is unkillable. Like, I just don't think there's enough damage to punch through all of these health bars. It just doesn't feel real. Like, the Scion, the Yone, the Silas, we don't have... I mean, we do have the Thornmail.
That's the only healing reduction.
That's
and
it.
It's not going to apply to enough people. There's so much sustain. Raptor has Alistar ult in pocket. Look how big the shield is on Clear, because he's got triple Chemtech Dragon.
Yeah. It's actually crazy.
You have the Redemption as well, which is boosted by the Chemtech Dragon, so it's like a Giga Redemption. It's insane.
Giga Redemption.
Yeah.
Think about the Summoner heal value.
Oh, yeah.
Plus 18%.
The barrier value?
Yes, that's massive.
We're cooking.
I love it. The shield bow.
The singular Ocean Dragon?
Yeah. You're just like, we're competing for the least significant
Actually,
thing.
does it affect the Ocean Dragon? I'm not sure if it does.
I feel like it should.
No, I'm not sure if it does. It's kind of janky. No, it doesn't affect lifesteal.
Maybe because... Wait, really?
Yeah. Heal and shield power doesn't affect lifesteal. Or Omnivamp. It doesn't, you know, you can check on the wiki. This is one of the reasons I always complain about Chemtech Dragon. It actually doesn't affect lifesteal or Omnivamp. Which is why it's not as good as you think it is. But it's still very good here, because like the Silas W isn't like Spellvamp, it's just healing, you know?
Yeah. But for the Yone, you're kind of like, well...
He still gets his shield in his W.
He does, he does.
But yeah, it doesn't increase, like, it doesn't increase the bloodthirst or lifesteal.
Exactly, yeah.
Lifesteal. The McHale's though, you know?
Yeah, it's just huge. Amazing. And they're just 5-man pushing. I mean, this is what BNK will do. They already got 2 inhibitors. They're going to just run into your base. Clear's taking an insane amount of damage, actually, at this point in time.
My God.
So is the Cassante just disappears. Engage Renata comes out once again. Actually, some low health bars, but they do have that healing and that shielding. But the Jhin, actually a lot of value here. Gonna get a second kill, holding on just barely. Triple does come forward, though, as Diablo running around like a little grasshopper. Hopping around as now we get the big engage here from Ondil, but unfortunately Teddy just can't get in range. That is the Quadra. Question is, does Diablo go for the Penta, or does he go for the end?
Surely he's got to go for the Penta. Surely. Come on, Diablo. He's looking for it.
Oh, they get it! They're gonna get the knockup. They don't get the penta. So that's not gonna do it. That's not quite gonna do it.
Yet. Send it. You've already locked in planes. Go.
The handshake. Waiting for the handshake should be enough. No! The Nexus denies it.
Oh man. I mean, still a great game from BNK FEARX. Not a 2-0, which I think for DRX, they're glad they got the one game, but would have loved to get a series win here. But BNK FEARX coming through strong in that third game.